In this video, I'm going to be going over how to beat the Cyclops bot on the chess.com website. Now, these bots are the new bots on the chess.com website for the month of August. So if you guys haven't checked that out, then you guys can actually play these bots yourself on the chess.com website. But there's going to be 5 bots in this series, so I'm going to be making 5 videos on these bots. And the first video, which is this one, is going to be on the first bot, who is rated 250. So I'll be playing 2 games, one with white and one with black, so you guys can see both colors and then sort of see how I will actually win this game. So let's just start off with the white pieces. Now, the first move doesn't really matter, e4, d4. I'm going to go with d4. And we get knight f6. So against knight f6, I really like to play bishop f4, which is the London system. And the idea is that I'm going to play e3 and then bring my knight to f3, right, and then just sort of develop very quickly. Okay, so we get the move c5, which is aiming to attack this pawn. However, my pawn's already protected by this pawn, so I don't really need to worry about this. So I'm just going to keep developing knight f3. And our opponent brings another attacker to this pawn, right? So now they have 2 attackers, but now I have 1, 2, and 3 defenders, so I still don't have to worry about that. I could play bishop b5, and this is a pretty good move because now I'm sort of like pinning this knight. Well, now it's actually pinned because you can see like the knight can't move, right? So in this case, I could try to add more pressure to this knight by going c3 and then queen a4. And I've actually done this quite a few times on my blitz games on chess.com, and usually it will catch my opponents off guard because they don't know what to do about this sort of pressure. But okay, my opponent goes a6, sort of kicking away my bishop. Now I could take the knight, and after the pawn takes, I could go queen a4, right, try to pressure this pawn, but then they might just go bishop d7. But let's just see if this bot does that, because it is a 250 bot after all. Yeah, right, they don't even take back, so now I can just take this knight and just keep developing, and I should be able to win this game. Okay, so bishop covers this a4 square, so now I can't bring my queen to a4, so I'm just going to castle. And I'm just going to bring my knight to d2, and then maybe sort of try to expand in the center here. Okay, so that just hangs a bishop, right, because this queen was supposed to be protecting this bishop, but because this d7 bishop is in the way, right, now they can't protect the bishop, so I can just take the bishop. And basically at this level of Elo, you don't really need to do anything too fancy. You can just wait for your opponent to make a blunder and just don't make any blunders yourself, and you pretty much win the game. So this queen move doesn't actually threaten anything because everything is protected. And if I take this bishop, right, nothing's actually being threatened, so I'm just going to take the bishop. And that's just a free pawn, so I would take that. Actually, that's just a free queen as well. So just take the queen. And now I can just pretty much play anything and win the game, so just attack this pawn, right? And the way you win these positions, the way you convert them, is you want to just sort of open up the position and then just bring your rooks into the game and then just basically make the whole position crumble, right? So just take all the pawns and then probably just play, I was going to go c4, but then my bishop will hang, so let's just move our bishop away first. I guess I will move it over, doesn't really matter, I'll move it here. And I'm also threatening to take this pawn now, so okay, now we can take the pawn. And they're going to move the king, and I think this is close to checkmate. Queen c7. And king has to go here. And it should be a checkmate. a4. a4, king can go here. Here, and then here. And I should have a checkmate pretty soon. Let's just play a4 first. And where's my checkmate? Okay, b4, b5. That seems to be pretty deadly, so I'm gonna go b4. And let's see if they take. They take. Okay, so I'll take back. And I'm threatening b5. Okay, so let's just go b5 and then knight c3. I think it's just checkmate. Okay, no, king can go to b4. Okay. I think. Wait, hold on. Okay, so just knight here, force the king to b4, and I think just go rook here, and then threaten a discovered check. So discover check, king has to go here. And where's my checkmate? There. Knight c6, and that is checkmate. So that was a pretty good first game. Now, once again, this is pretty low elo, so all we really need to do is to not hang any pieces, and then make sure we capitalize on our opponent's blunders as well. So I'm going to play another game with the black pieces, and we're going to see how this goes. Okay, so I'm going to play the Caro-Kann, right? So against e4, the Caro-Kann is basically when you play c6, and the idea is that you're going to play d5 next, and you're going to stabilize this pawn with your c pawn. So we get the exchange variation. Well, okay, so this is known as the Panov attack in the Caro-Kann. It's pretty high level stuff. I'm kind of surprised this blot is playing this. But okay, we're going to play like this, and it's sort of like a Queen's Gambit decline sort of setup. If you guys know the Queen's Gambit opening, when they go d4, d5, and then c4, and then Queen's Gambit decline is when you go d6. So this is kind of like similar to a Queen's Gambit decline. The only difference is that the c pawn is missing. So yeah, so I'm just going to go bishop to e7. We get the exchange, so I could take with the pawn or the knight. If I take with the pawn, I sort of have an isolated pawn in the center of the board. So an isolated pawn, I'm just going to show you guys, is when you have a pawn here and there's no other pawns next to it to sort of protect the pawn. So usually these sort of setups like aren't too good, because this pawn becomes a weakness in a lot of positions. So for example, this knight is always pressuring this pawn, right? And you don't have any other pawns to actually support it. They can always bring the queen, and then to sort of put more pressure on this pawn. Probably like this is a more practical approach. So usually you don't want to get isolated pawns. But okay, we get bishop here to check. I'm just gonna bring my knight here. I could bring my bishop to d7. It does stop this queen from seeing the pawn, but then my knight is also covering this pawn anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna try to force some trades. Alright, try to get the bishop to trade. And they don't trade, so I can just take now. And then after the knight takes, I think I can go queen here, check the king, and also pick up the knight. Unless they go back, so... Okay, so they don't take my bishop, so now I'm just up a piece, which means I'm just going to drop my bishop back. I guess I'll drop it back here. I can't drop it here to support this pawn, why not? Okay, so now I can just offer a trade of bishops, right? When you're up in material, it's always good to just trade everything off and then try to convert the position that way. Okay, so develop my knight here, and then I'm just going to castle because that's the last thing I haven't done yet. Okay, so I'm just going to castle. Now, when you castle and you see that your opponent hasn't castled, you can always bring your rook to the open file and to pressure them. And usually that's a pretty good move. Okay, I have this queen check. Let's say check and then pick up this pawn. It seems like a pretty decent move, so check. If they block like this, I'll just take this pawn. And they block with the rook. Okay, so I could take this pawn. And it doesn't seem like my opponent has anything else to punish that. I mean, the rook here, I can just take this pawn as well, so I don't really see why pawn takes, oh sorry, taking the pawn is a bad idea. Okay, so to bring the knight here, now I can just take this pawn actually, so I'm pretty much just collecting all the pawns now. Let's see what they do. Okay, f3 doesn't really do anything. I guess it stops my knight from jumping here, which is understandable. So now that we're up in material, how do we convert this? Well, one thing I see is that this knight is sort of pinned right now, right? I can't move, and my opponent hasn't castled yet. So I think a good move here is just playing bishop to b5, right? Putting more pressure on this knight and threatening to actually take it on the next turn. So, okay, so my opponent thinks they're trying to attack my queen, but that just hangs a rook because nothing is defending the rook, so I'll just take that. Okay, so knight here blocks off the vision from the rook, but I could just take the knight. I can also just take this knight, but let's see, if I take this knight after takes, I'm still pinning this knight, so it seems like a pretty good move. Yeah, and as I said, take off the rook, and I'm still threatening to take this, and yeah, that's just game over. I can take off the rook, give him check, and then if he takes with the queen, I'll just take that. Yeah, and now we're just up in material, and we're gonna win the game. So just check here, he has to go here, and then that should be pretty close. Oh, actually, he can go there. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this rook, and he's gonna take the bishop, and we're just gonna bring our last piece into the game, right? Activate our rook, and now we can just sort of try to give checks and sort of like force the king into a very awkward position where we can deliver checkmate. Now it's worth remembering that we don't want to stalemate the king, right? But because they have 2 pawns here, we don't have to worry about stalemate because they can always just move these pawns, which means we can just bring our pieces into the game without worrying about stalemate. And now we're just going to do a simple ladder checkmate, right? So force the king to this edge of the board, bring our rook here, and then we're just going to checkmate the king like this. So that's it for this sort of educational run for this Cyclops bot. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. But otherwise, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video where I will face against the next bot, who is Siren. See you in the next video.